Shabbat Shalom. Please sing just that. Let us all welcome Shabbat with one another in song. Shabbat Shalom, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so good to be with you tonight. We are at the center point of the Torah with Parshat Acharei Mot Kedoshim, and it includes laws in a variety of areas, from ritual to criminal laws to civil legislation, and there are even laws in this parsha towards how we act, our attitudes, and about how we think. And there are laws about what we do in privacy of our own home, laws about how we conduct business, and of course, laws about how we relate to one another on a human level. And so as we enter this Shabbat, a day that is separated and meant to be holy, it also offers us a chance to consider how we want to bring this sense of the sacred into our own lives, how we want to see ourselves as sacred, how we want to see one another as sacred, and how we really want to spend this sacred time together for these next 25 hours. And so we always start with words of gratitude. We're going to join with Lechu Neranana, Psalm 95, and it can be found in the lower left-hand corner of your supplement, which is the 6th page of the online prayer book. Please join with us.
that moment every week as the Kabbalat Shabbat Psalms, the melodies that we sing to enter into Shabbat, as we just did a moment ago, come to their conclusion, and we reach this crescendo of anticipation, which is supposed to be just like that moment where you're leaning forward because a bride is just about to enter into the space of a wedding. Except this wedding is a cosmic wedding between our God and our people, Shabbat. Shabbat Malkah, the Sabbath bride. Let us welcome her together. The words Lecha Dodi can be found on the screen. I hope you'll join in singing with me. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Ligrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela Shamur v'zachor b'dibur echad Yishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad V'shemu tiferet v'litila lecha dodi Ligrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi Ligrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela Ligrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nisucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila lecha dodi Ligrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi Ligrat kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Hit'oreri, hit'oreri Ki va'orech kumi ori Uri uri shidaberi Kivod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi Ligrat kala Pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi Ligrat kala Pene Shabbat nekabela If you're able, I invite you to stand and to face the entrance to the room where you're praying. That's where she is, the bride, entering this space, filling our hearts and our lives with Kedusha, with holiness. Boi v'shalom hateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha dodi Ligrat kala Pene Shabbat nekabela 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 service continues with the call to worship Baruch Hu. The words can be found in the online prayer book, page 28. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la
This week in religious school, we were talking about Shema and how it is a prayer all about listening. And we were discussing the difference between what it means to listen and what it means to hear. And how when you listen, it's not just about hearing someone's words, it's about seeing them and understanding them and really breathing in their entire experience to its fullness. And then I asked them, who is someone who really listens to you? And as usual, I was inspired by our students. One student said that their parents really listen to them and that they really feel heard because they don't judge. No matter what they say, they don't feel judged. And another student said that her best friend really listens to her and she makes sure that she even defends her. And then there was another student who talked about how her therapist really listens to her and also helps her to explore how she feels. And finally, one student, he said, my dog really listens to me. And I asked him why. And he said, because he just has a sense. He just knows when I need a little bit of extra love and care. And so as we recite Shema tonight, our prayer of listening, perhaps it can be an invitation for us to think about who really listens to us, who makes us see, who makes us feel loved and seen, and also how we can practice these skills of listening in our own lives to ensure that the people we care about most also have that experience as well. And so we join together words of Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vahed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated.
We join together in the Shema and the Ve'ahavta on page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta baham veshivtecha bevetecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshochvecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot ayadecha vehayu letotafot beinenecha Uktavtam hamezuzot peitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Words from our prayer book by Herbert Bronstein. Egypt is symbolic of any bondage, any slavery. In singing this song at the sea, we sing our present experience of redemption, as well as the historic redemption of Israel from Egypt in our past. Every day, said the rabbis, we are sold into slavery. Every day we are delivered, and every day we experience the miraculous, as real as that at the sea. As we recite our Michamocha prayer, we make space to hold both the injustices and those who are still enslaved and need our care, and also the miracles that abound around us. We join together in this prayer of hope and this prayer of redemption on page 40.
Their love Our next prayer, the Hashkivenu prayer, gives us a sense of protection, a sense of security, and a sense of peace as we enter into the evening. Join with me with the Hashkivenu on our supplemental page at the bottom right corner. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, le'amidenu malkeinu lechaim, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 We continue now with the Amidah, our own personal prayers, but first we join as a community. We open our mouths. We say, God, let these words from my heart come out tonight. We're on page 46. Oh God, as I stand before you, I ask for strength and for courage as I take time to look at myself. May I open my lips in prayer. Adonai Sfatai Tivta, Ufi Agita Ilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Hasdei Avot Beimahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Ve'ava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atagi Bor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Akolata, Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hata, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, הוא מתיר אסורים, הוא מקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, הוא מידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please take a few minutes to follow the words of the prayer book or the words of your heart through page 62, and when you are finished, you may be seated.
Shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael
when the people in our lives are struggling, when they are suffering from illness of the mind or of the body or of the spirit, I find that we often want to do something to help them. And sometimes doing something really is useful. And sometimes, as our religious school students taught us, really what we need to do is to just listen, to be present with them and to remind them that we see them and that we're here with them and that they matter. And so when we recite the Misha Berach prayer, this is perhaps our opportunity to remind ourselves that there are people around us who need us to listen to them. And so as we recite this tonight, I want to invite you to call out loud the name of someone that you are thinking of this Shabbat who is in need of our healing prayer. Maybe it's even yourself. And then we'll join together in our Misha Berach prayer as a community. These words can be found in the middle of page 253.
Misheberach Avotenu B'kol habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Imotenu Mekor Abraha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We continue now with the Aleinu on the bottom of page 282. If you are able, please rise. Aleinu leshabech ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot adama, shelo samchalkenu kahem, vegor aleinu ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר ואדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו echad.
Some words to help us prepare for the recitation of Kaddish, words not found in the online prayer book. These words of poetry written by Lee Young Lee. From blossoms comes this brown paper bag of peaches we bought from the boy at the bend in the road, where we turn toward signs painted peaches. From laden boughs, from hands, from sweet fellowship in the bins, comes nectar at the roadside, succulent peaches we devour, dusty skin and all, comes the familiar dust of summer, dust we eat. Oh, to take what we love inside, to carry within us an orchard, to eat not only the skin, but the shade, not only the sugar, but the days, to hold the fruit in our hands, adore it, and then bite into the round jubilance of peach. There are days we live as though death were nowhere, in the background, from joy to joy to joy, from wing to wing, from blossom to impossible blossom, to sweet, impossible blossom. As we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer this evening, we remember especially Ada Angel, cousin of Debbie Stein and Eric Hamburg, and Bernard Stein, brother of Erwin Stein, brother-in-law of Judy Stein, whom death has taken from us in recent days. And we link their names with Helen Brucker, Norman Burnham, Marcus Fetchheimer, Bessie Flom, William Bill Friedman, Nathan Greenberg, Rebecca Gutman, David Hamburg, David S. Harrison, Leon Heckler, Mary Asia Hilf, Brian Eisen, Charlotte Hilson Cantor, Lillian Coppell, Henry Lauterbach, Laura Lewis, David I. Lippert, Helene Chase Miller, Rael Moser, Ray Miles, Ron Newberg, Ruth Ortner, Craig Pierce, Ben Pleasance, Pauline Price, Barbara Rubin, Marilyn Samuels, Martin Schickman, Yetta Schrag, Roy Smith, Sheila Stockel, Myron Summerfield. If there are other names we should include, please speak them aloud. We think as well of all those who we name in our hearts, and the now over 3 million victims of COVID-19 all over the world, and also those who have perished as innocent victims of violence. We are reminded each and every week of the violence that surrounds us and of the sacred duty that is ours to be ushers of this world to a greater state of peace. With all of them close at heart, we say, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, the memory of the righteous is an everlasting blessing, as together we give thanks for the blessing of life. With the words of Mourner's Kaddish, please rise if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye echon u'vyom echon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, Amen. May the giver of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us, and let us together say, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael Vehimeru Amen. Ose Shalom Bimroma Uyahase Shalom Aleinu Ve'al kol Yisrael Vehimeru Amen.
We are in the middle of counting the Omer, from freedom at Pesach, from freedom of slavery to Torah that we receive at Shavuot. We are literally just a little past the middle of those 49 days. We are on day 27. So we are going to count together the blessing. We're going to say the blessing together. The last three words, all Sefirat HaOmer, for counting the Omer. So please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam,
Eloheinu melech haolam
asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav,
asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav
vetzivanu
v'tzivanu
al sefirat haomer.
al sefirat
Omer.
That's a tongue twister. And we say, Hayom Shvi'ah ve'esrim yom shehem shlosha shavuot ve'shisha yamim la'omer. Today is 27 days of the Omer, which is 3 weeks and 6 days. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom. This was a beautiful service, and I enjoy every Friday night with all of you. May it be a good Shabbat.
First, just a little plug as we are counting down the Omer, which is that on Shavuot, we will be celebrating together as a community with our confirmation students who will be leading our service. And they are so inspiring and so thoughtful. And so you want to save the date for Sunday, May 16th at 6 p.m. And I also just want to wish you a Shabbat of holiness and a Shabbat of really opening up our hearts so that we may truly see and truly listen to the people around us.
As Rabbi Bernie taught us in her online sermon that was sent out this afternoon, this is the week of the Torah portion, all about holiness. Our holiness code is included in the portion, and it is a reminder, as Rabbi Bernie taught us, that there are no exceptions when it comes to human beings being vessels of holiness, being created in God's own image. And so I want to wish for you a Shabbat in which you honor that holiness within yourself. Please do something that will enable you to lift up yourself as a holy vessel. Refill the vessel so that when the week comes, you are ready to do your best creative work for the sake of this world. I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom and Menucha, a restful, peaceful, restorative